good to go.
Yep. I'm Gemma Pickford-War. I am the local offer coordinator. I work within Somerset County Council, but we work very closely with the Parent Carer Forum, the Unstoppables and NHS Somerset. I'm here to tell you a bit about what the local offer is, how to access it, and how to feed back on it. We've done a lot of user research and updated it recently, and so I wanted to let you know what people said and how we've changed it as a result. And to give you a bit of a flavour for what might be coming up in the local offer live sessions throughout the week. So the purpose of Somerset's local offer is we aim to provide clear, comprehensive, accessible and up-to-date information about available provision, how to access it. It's got to explain how decisions are made and who by. It sets out with clear pathways for action and directions about what to do and where to go if things are going wrong. It is more than just a web directory, though. It aims to make provision more responsive to local needs and aspirations by directly involving young people with SEND and their parent carers and service providers in its development and review. So whilst I'm talking about the local offer web directory here, we also have our local offer, which is all of the services that are detailed on the web directory. So as well as looking at how the information is presented on the website, we also work together to shape the services available within that offer. We use both statistics and conversations to find out what people are looking for and where there are gaps. Okay, so in terms of the legislation and why we have the local offer, it's within the SEND Code of Practice, Chapter 4 and SEND Regulations Part 4. If you need some bedtime reading, you can go through and look at a list of everything that we've got to include on our local offer there. But basically, we've got a list of things that we have to include, and we have to involve people in preparing and reviewing it and publishing it, publishing their feedback as well. So the principles that we follow are we're collaborative. We've got to involve parent carers, children, young people in developing and reviewing the local offer, but we've also got to cooperate with those providing the services that are on the local offer. So within Somerset, the Somerset Parent Carer Forum audit the site twice a year and help the services to write the content so that it reflects what people need. We've got a newly appointed young persons champion who is helping to improve content and raise awareness amongst the young persons side. We found that children and young people don't necessarily access websites for information, so we're looking at other ways that we could support that. The website was recently redeveloped, and we did an extensive user research project that I'll talk about a bit later, and that involved services as well as parent carers and young people. We've got to be accessible. It's got to be easy to understand, factual and jargon free. We've got to structure it in a way that relates to children, young people and parents' needs. It's got to be well signposted and publicised. It's got to be comprehensive. So as I said, there's a very long list of things that we need to include in it. Parents and young people should know what support is available across education, health and social care from 0 to 25 years, from universal to specialist services, and how to access it. The information has got to include eligibility criteria, whether that's relevant, and make clear where to go for information, advice and support, as well as how to make complaints about provision or appeal against decisions. It's also got to be up to date. The published offer needs to be accurate and relevant at the point of use. It's got to reflect the services and information available currently to children, young people and their families. And it's got to have the latest versions and updates of policies and protocols with a planned review date visible. And also it needs to be transparent. The local offer has got to be clear about how decisions are made and who is accountable and responsible for them. Comments received about the local offer from or on behalf of children with SEND and their parents need to be published, as well as what we've done to improve it. So as I said, our local offer has a whole range of things. These are the different tiles that you'll find on the homepage where we've grouped the information, but we've got to tell you everything about education settings from early years to post 16, childcare for children with SEND, healthcare provision for children and young people with SEND and the education settings supporting them, social care provision for children and young people with SEND and their families, including services for children in need and their families, services for children with disabilities and their families, services supporting young people moving children's services to adult services, support for independent living, information and advice services for carers. We've also got to cover transport, forums for parents and carers of children and young people with SEND, support groups, leisure activities, support information and advice providers, and providers that are commissioned by the local authority. So we have this information on our local offer website in a variety of ways. We've got some information pages, and they convey specific helpful quality information so that you can learn something new or understand a topic better. We want to make sure that families are aware of both what they're entitled to and how they can manage their own well-being. This includes guidance and advice, early identification and assessment processes, and the duty of providers to make reasonable adjustments and information about how to raise concerns. We also have service records, so they can help you find the best service to meet your needs, including eligibility criteria, accessibility at the setting, referral processes, contact details, and any applicable costs. It also makes it easy for support groups to raise their profile and reach a wider audience. And then we've also got events calendar. They share upcoming accessible opportunities to relax, get involved, or improve skills for children and young people with SEND and or their parent carers. When we did our user research about the old site, parent carers said that there is too much information and it's really hard to navigate. So we have made better, more focused search results. We're now using Google Custom Search for information and advice pages. That has previously been used on somerset.gov.uk website, and so we know it works well. We also have more control over the order of results. So we're using a separate bespoke search for directories. Providers, schools and childcare are in different searches. We found quite often people would search for something and all the childcare providers would come up because they mentioned they can also take children with autism. It would come up in the search for autism, and childcare wasn't necessarily what that person was searching for. But also we've got a bit more control over the order of results to make relevant to you, so you can filter by location, age group, commission services, for example. And here is an example of what the new search results look like. QR codes throughout this presentation. If you scan with your phone, you can access them, but it's just an example for you. Parent carers also said that there isn't a roadmap to say this is where you are and this is your next step. It can be quite complex navigating your way through SEND. So we've made clear pathways through information. Where processes are complicated, we've used a design pattern to help take you through each step. By laying out the process using steps, we can help give you an understanding of where you are and what comes next. So an example of this is our education, health and care plans pages. It takes you on the journey, breaking down the processes into steps. They're often numbered. The eligibility criteria and supporting documents or referral forms are available in the relevant steps to avoid overwhelming you before you get to that point. And it's also clear what comes next, but also what should have happened before. Parent carers also told us that they would often jump from one place to the next in order to find information, and we found that some pages were on the local offer, some pages were on the county council website, some pages were on both, and it was a bit confusing and people weren't sure where they'd ended up and where to go back. So we have changed that now. The local offer is merged into the county council website, but the colours are different, so you will know if you're on our local offer or if you're just on the county council website. But in the right place. So the SEND information is with universal information, mainly. It's not sending you somewhere else. And the SEND information is clearly and consistently designed so that you can quickly and easily find it. It's placed within the universal information, helps provide context. So an example would be our youth offending page. Previously, we had our SEND specific youth offending page sat within the preparing for adult life section. Because it related to teenagers, it kind of felt like we were directing people to, this is something you might want to consider as you get older. And that wasn't the right place for it. So actually, our SEND part of the youth offending offer is now within the youth offending page. So it's within that context. We're not steering people in a different direction and making them get confused. If you want to look for youth offending, you find out what is available in the universal service, but also within the SEND provision. Other areas that we've made this change have included transport. People were going in to look at transport. If they've got an education, health and care plan, they may look at transport within the education, health and care plan section, or they may look within school transport section. And so we've got that, it's clearer now where you need to go. So all of user research made us develop the site. It was published in July in its new setting. We're still reviewing content and improving it, so we're really keen to find out what you think of the new site. At the bottom of every page, there's a link that says, is this page useful? And you can record in there any comments about it, any broken links, any information you provide there is anonymous. But we collect it, we deal with it, and we report on it yearly and say what we've done as a result of that. We've also got our Local Offer Somerset Facebook page. They'll be sharing information pages, events, lots of different bits and bobs. You can comment on our posts or message us or tag us in your posts. But feedback is really, really important. We've been told that for every 26 unhappy website users, only one will complain and the other 25 will just stop using the website. If those 25 people let us know what we need to do better, then we can improve the website and make sure that you can continue to use it. So as I said, every year we produce an annual report, and that covers the calendar year, summarising both statistics of what people use, key messages from feedback at events, and also the feedback through these information pages, and also our actions and our plan for the next year. So as well as feeding back to us, we know that people want to be kept up to date with what's going on. So we have Send News, which is a fortnightly term time bulletin. It's aimed at both parents and professionals, and it's got a wide target audience. You can subscribe to it. You can submit any articles if you want to raise any awareness campaigns or any events and activities.